Okay. Hello. It's been a while since the last lesson, but finally another one. We're gonna do arrays and matrices. So arrays and then an extension matrices store a series of values of the same data type. And the version of this called an array is just a list of numbers like so, but you can add more dimensions and then they become what we call matrices or a matrix. So here you would have sets of two, and this is a two-dimensional array. And you have a set of sets, basically, a list of lists. And then here is three dimensions, but all of these you need to initialize to a certain length and data type, and you can only change values, and so you can't add them or remove them. And all the values start as zero if it's an integer array, an empty string or character if it's a string or character array, or false if you have a Boolean array. And there are different searching methods to go through and find things or find certain um, descriptors of these arrays, but that's going to be in a different lesson. For now, the only way you can search an array and the only way you will need to search an array is to go through every value in the array. So the way you initialize arrays is what you're going to do is take, let's say, an integer array, which you're going to use square brackets, is going to, and we have to give it a name. Let's call it just array for simplicity is going to be a new integer array of length, let's say 4. You can make this any length, you can make this variable. It's got to be anywhere from 1 to whatever, and it's got to be a whole number. And if you want to make a two-dimensional array, you just add another set of brackets, add another set of brackets here as well, and put whatever the other dimension is, let's say a length of 9, and so on and so forth. You can do this for 3, 4, 5, 6, however many dimensions you need. Normally, you're only going to need 1 or 2, but just know that it's possible. So that's how you initialize an array, and obviously you don't need int. You could have a Boolean array, and this is just going to be the same, but it's going to be Boolean instead of integer and whatever other data type you may need. So then what you also then to go through an array or to access a certain value, let's initialize an array as an example. Integer array equals, let's instead of initializing it as a length, we'll just, or you can't initialize it as a string of values. You need to initialize it at a length. Let's just say 3. And to go to anything in an array, you would go, it starts your indices when you want to access a certain value in the array. The first one is 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. It doesn't start at 1, it starts at 0. And in a 2D array, same thing, but you have your rows and then columns, or yeah, rows and then columns. So the first value is going to be what row it's in, and then the second value is what column it is in, much like a graph. But normally, if you visualize these, they'll start at the top left instead of the bottom left. So if we then, let's put values in this array by starting at 0, going up to 2, and increasing by 1, and we'll say array of I, that indice is equal to I. And that, what this will do is it'll go through, it'll go to index 0, set it to 0, go to index 1, set it to 1, go to index 2, set it to 2, and so on and so forth. And this is normally useful. What you're normally going to have in a problem is they're going to give you an integer, and you're going to make an array of that integer length, and then you're just going to fill it in with whatever input they give you. And that's the common way to take in input into an array. So that's basically it about arrays. That's how you access them, and you can change them. You can say print out a certain value of the array, let's say array of 2. You can change what an array value is. You can just say array of 3 is equal to 5. And you can do anything with this value. And yet again, for 2D arrays, you're just going to have a second value with which column or which column it is in. Yeah. And it's that simple. So there are 4 problems in the doc linked below this video, and either tomorrow night or Wednesday morning, I'm gonna post some like challenging problems once I can see that you guys can do basic arrays. And that's it. The next lesson, we'll see what it'll cover. It might be a project, like a simple game, or it'll be a new topic. Probably a project. But that is it for now. Check out the 4 problems. Once a couple people have solved those, I will post some challenge problems. And then I will later give you the next lesson.